Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are the political pundits. Yes, that's who we are. That's who we will always be. So today we are going to be talking about the polls in this election. The polls are very important. They show what direction the race is going to go in, and we're going to be analyzing the national and the state polls. So as you can see right here, according to 538, Biden is up. What is that? 7 points, just about.
Yeah, it's been
Um,
holding steady since about the start of September. He's been at about +7 the entire month, even though some recent polls show him as high as up by 10 and some down by point 0.5 or by +5. So 7 actually does seem right about the middle there, so it does sound like a good poll, even though a lot of the polls are averaged higher, but I'm assuming that's accounting for Democratic lean, so it does make sense.
Pretty much, in my opinion, I think that if Trump wants to win, he can be behind in the popular vote by like 3 points. And he can still win the election. So if Trump's somehow able to make up those 4 points, that would probably be enough for him.
Yeah, all right. So moving on to some swing states, we are going to go down to Minnesota first. So Minnesota has been was at one point close. It was only up by 4, 5 points, but after the riots in Minneapolis, it was really separated to up to 10, and now it's actually getting back up there to 9.1, 8.8, so about 9 points. So Biden is definitely going to carry this state on election day. There is no
Yeah,
doubt about it. It is now a likely margin that he will now win
I
Minnesota.
don't know. I don't know if it's going to be that big of a margin. I feel like just personally there'll be a little bit of a swing towards Trump just because of the whole enthusiasm thing that we have going on here. But I don't think it's going to be quite 8 points. Maybe it's like five.
Yeah,
It'll
5
probably be
cents
a
good.
little bit closer.
It all depends. It really the last 8% of people that aren't voting, 7-8%, are all going to be the ones watching the debates and watching to see who wins the debate. So it's all about the debate performance for these last 7% that they're trying to both grab into their vote share. So moving
Okay,
on to Wisconsin. Wisconsin also at one point was close. All the way back in April, it was almost neck and neck. And then as the coronavirus started to take its toll on the country, Trump's approval rating went down, and the race between Biden and Trump in the state of Wisconsin has widened to where Biden now holds a 7 point lead and has been holding steady. Even though they've both been gaining percentage votes, it's been holding steady at about 7 points for the last month.
Um, question: has Biden visited the state?
I don't know. He's probably
Um,
planning on it, knowing Hillary's mistake back in 2016. But I have no idea if he's actually gone to Wisconsin yet. I'm willing to bet it's in his plan, though.
should be going there, or else you might see a repeat of what happened 4 years ago in Wisconsin. If he doesn't go there, it could probably be an issue, especially because they were supposed to have the DNC there, but Biden didn't even go to Wisconsin. He just kind of stayed home.
Yeah, which also garnered a lot of criticism. Which because Trump had an in-person, well, semi-in-person one, while Biden streamed from his house. So he definitely needs to get out to Wisconsin. The next state we're going to look at is Michigan. Michigan was also close, with only Biden up by 3 points initially. But again, as coronavirus took its toll on the country, we saw up to 10, 11 points at one point, back in his peak in June or in July. But ever since August started, it's been holding steady around 6 to 8 points, with it currently sitting right in the middle at 7. So this is another state where I think Biden's also going to carry on election night.
Oh, what I do know is Biden hasn't visited this state yet. He has not been there.
He does
I
hold
know he,
advantages, though. This is the state where he's helped with the auto industry, correct?
yes.
So that is mostly why he is up by so much right now, I think. So I don't think he really necessarily needs to visit this state in order to hold his lead.
He should.
He definitely should, yes, that would definitely help, but I don't think it's needed exactly. Wisconsin, it is needed. I don't think it's going to be needed in Michigan just because he
I
already
mean,
has a big sway.
personally, if I was Biden's campaign manager, I would tell him to go to Michigan.
Oh, yeah, I would too.
Oh, he definitely needs it. He can't afford to lose it. He needs to make sure he can absolutely secure it, and he shouldn't take it for granted
Yeah,
because what taking these states for granted happened last time.
yeah. And rounding off the Rust Belt states, we are going to go down to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is definitely the closest of the four Rust Belt states, where it was, even though at one point it was up by 8, it's now only up by what, 5, 5.2. So it has definitely narrowed up, and it's going to stay this narrow all the way until the election. I feel this is Biden's basically make or break. If he can carry Pennsylvania, then he has definitely carried Michigan, he has definitely carried Wisconsin, and he has definitely carried Minnesota. So he will win the election just off of these four states.
Yeah, I feel like this state is probably going to narrow up the most before election day. That's just my personal gut feeling, and that's pretty much going to be the tipping point state, in my opinion. Whoever wins Pennsylvania is probably going to win the election.
Oh yeah. Although, as long as, again, back to the undecided percentage here, the difference between Biden and Trump, because neither have above 50. These are the people waiting to watch the debates. So it's definitely going to come down to the debates to see who's going to win.
Biden he better not fumble and
Yeah.
maintain his lead.
An unlikely swing state we are going to look at now is the state of Arizona. Arizona was once a Trump state. It went to Trump back in 2016. Back in March, he even had it by up to 4 points. But now potential Senator Mark Kelly is running. Mark Kelly is a really strong candidate. He is up by, what is it, like 8 to 10 points over the incumbent.
Probably.
So this state has had a huge swing to the left, where Biden's been consistently up by 3 to 5 points. And actually, his peak was very recent, in the middle of September. So he's only up by 3.6 now, but this is significant for the Biden campaign. If he holds Arizona, that'll be a huge flip.
And I do remember they were talking about this a few weeks ago about how Biden is struggling with Latino voters. I'm not sure if that's just Florida thing or if that also carries into Arizona, because that could factor into enthusiasm. Of his Latino voters, if they're not really enthused for Biden, that could definitely hurt him in certain states.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure the reason why this state has flipped is because of Latino voters. So I'm assuming that that's where this lead is coming from.
And so yeah, Arizona's it's going to be one of those key states that could either give the election to either candidate. Both of them are going to have to campaign there, make sure that they're spending time there.
Although, and this is huge, Trump is not spending ad money here. He has pulled ads from he has actually pulled ads from every single state we have mentioned so far. He does not have any TV ads running there because his campaign is running out of money that he claims to be saving for the last few weeks up until the election. So we'll see if he puts them back in October. But right now it is very bad that he is not putting ads in these states, because Biden has enough money where he can continue to put a lot of ads from today all the way up through the election. So this is a huge disadvantage for Trump.
Yeah, but let's also keep in mind too that Hillary greatly outspent Trump last time. What was the margin? What was it like? She spent like triple or.
It was very high, but again, she was also a very unpopular candidate. She had a very low approval rating. It was like in the low 40s. Biden's approval rating is like either the high 40s or low 50s, and Trump's is still around 40. So the reason why outspending didn't do much for her is because she was unpopular. More unpopular than Trump, obviously.
I think I did see that Biden's approval, I think it's around 47, and Trump's, it's around 44. I mean, it's a difference, but I mean, I don't think the difference is so significant. But Biden is definitely more favored and more likable than Clinton was. So that's definitely something that's going to help Biden.
Yeah.
Not as many people hate him.
Correct. Moving on to Florida. Florida has been a very contentious state from the beginning. Biden, while has always had the edge, except for like maybe a day, this race was not close. Like, this was +8 in Florida for Biden, which is ridiculous. But since then, it has narrowed up to just a couple points. It's down to like 1.7 right now. So
I'm making a bold prediction.
Yeah.
Trump's winning Florida.
You're what in Florida?
Trump's winning Florida. I'm making that bold prediction.
Oh yeah, I also think he's going to carry Florida on election night. I don't think this will go to Biden unless something substantial happens in October that destroys Trump's entire re-election campaign. But that's unlikely. I do think Florida is going to go to Trump on election night. That is correct. So moving on to North Carolina. Oops. North Carolina is also a really close state. It always has been. There's never been like a Biden substantial lead where he's been up by more than 5. It's always been within 4 points. And even right now, it's a 1 point difference. And I think it's going to stay a 1 point difference all the way through election night. And just like we previously mentioned, Trump's probably going to carry North Carolina unless something substantial happens. I think these
Yeah,
polls are
I
definitely
think
democratically leaning.
I just personally don't see the state flipping at all. I think he's gonna carry it. It'll probably be a little bit closer than last time, but
Oh yeah, it's
I think
definitely going to, the margins are definitely going to be much closer. I just don't think it's enough to flip the state, as you said.
no, I don't think so either.
All right, and another state. Now, this state is quite significant because it has correctly predicted the president for the last 60 years, I believe. It has, yeah, this state has
Good.
always gone to the winning president or the winning candidate. So Biden was initially up back in his peak in July, but has since become close, and Trump has actually gone back into the positive with a +2. But recently, Biden has flipped, and it's because of these polls from Fox News, no less, showing him at +5. I mean, new polls have come out since then showing Trump back up, but these are D- rated pollster with a huge sample size. So it is not as trustful as an A- rated pollster. So if Biden may actually carry this on election night. It's
I mean,
unlikely.
personally don't think so, but I
Yeah,
think I'm still gonna hold on to it.
it's extremely unlikely, but this would definitely mark a huge significance if this goes to Trump and Trump loses, as it breaks Ohio's 60-year streak of being right. So moving on from Ohio, we are going to Texas. Not many people would really see Texas as a swing state, but the polls here are still neck and neck. Biden's within 2 points of Trump in Texas. Now that's crazy. I mean, this is obviously going to go to Trump on election night. There's no chance Biden's going to flip the state. But the
I
fact,
don't think I don't think Beto O'Rourke's magic dirt is gonna help Biden.
no, I mean, if Beto O'Rourke actually won against Cruz, maybe Biden could have flipped this. But there's no way in hell that Biden's taking Texas. If he does, that's a catastrophic failure of Trump's reelection campaign. And the last actual state we're going to look at is the state of Georgia. Now, the state of Georgia has also been going back and forth. It's another Trump's up 1 week, Biden's up another week. And it's always been within 4 points as well. And recently it has narrowed up just a bit from plus 1.5 down to about under 1 at some places. Now, this is also another state that I believe Trump is going to carry. I don't think Biden can flip this one either.
Because John McCain won this seat too in 2008, in a year that was terrible for the Republicans. He was still able to hold on to this state. I think Trump will still hold on to it,
Yeah.
even if he loses by a big margin.
I mean, if the margins, like, if Biden starts going 10, 11 points on the national level, then I think he's going to flip Georgia. But if that's not very likely before election day. He won't get that far. It's going to narrow up. It's not going to widen, again, unless there's a catastrophic failure of the Trump reelection campaign. Now, we're
No,
going to look. What?
keep going. Keep going.
Now we are going to look at the second districts of both Maine and Nebraska. So we're going to start with Nebraska first. Now, Nebraska's second district has been solid, likely for Biden the entire election season. So like if I scroll down, you see plus 11 in May, plus 7 in July. Recent polls from the 18th show 6 and 7, and then today actually another plus 7 from an A-rated pollster. So this is right on the national average. So this is actually one of the crucial electoral votes because if you actually looked at the news recently, Pelosi is worried about a tie of the Electoral College. One of the reasons this tie would get broken is if Biden picks up the second district of Nebraska or the second district of Maine. So the fact that he's up on equal to his national standing, he's most likely going to carry the second district of Nebraska. Now, if we look at Maine, on the other hand, I believe it is closer. Yeah, Maine's second district is only plus 3 right now. Polls from the 21st show plus 1. This is very close for Biden. I don't think he's going to carry Maine's second district, which is why picking up one of them is so crucial to break the tie.
All right. Yeah, I agree. Nothing more to add.
One last state we are going to look at is the state of Iowa. So Iowa was not really considered to be Biden territory because it was +5 for Trump all the way up until um, July when Biden hit his peak. So recently, it actually has been a contentious state within 2 points the entire time, and now it's even narrowing up coming into election, the last month before the election. But Trump only has this by .7. So the way this is trending, I think Biden could possibly take it on election day, but again, looking at these polls from A plus rated pollsters, it's not very likely.
I think Trump's going to get that state. I don't think that's leaving from anytime soon.
Uh,
Something I want to add real quick. October surprise, Corn Pop's going to join the race.
who?
He's going to join as the third part. Corn Pop. Corn Pop's going to come back for revenge against Biden.
Are you sure it's not going to be Vermin Supreme?
No, Well, maybe he could be the VP. Corn Pop the president. Vermin Supreme for vice
Yes,
president.
yes,
What happened?
that is
I wonder
awesome.
I wonder if Corn Pop's still alive.
I don't know.
I hope he's still alive and he reveals himself.
All right.
He's been hidden for too long.
Yes. All right, and that is all the time we have for today. So we're going to check back on the polls weekly. So we're going to have a weekly episode checking on the polls all the way up through the election. And we're going to see we're going to compare them to the previous episodes, see who's trending where, if there's any substantial changes, and what else is going on with the polls. So that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Are the political pundits.
Yes, we are the political pundits.